All right, got another New England Patriots 2026 NFL draft target. Today we're talking about Mason Reiger, dark horse edge from Wisconsin. As the New England Patriots make a deeper transition to the Mike Vrabel era, the evaluation for edge defenders is becoming more meaningful. We don't really have a clean doctrine anymore. We don't know if we're looking for a pure sack artist right now. Are we looking for more fundamental edge rushers? Is the guy looking to set an edge? Are we looking for a guy who can put his hand in dirt? Are we looking for a three-point guy, defensive end? Are we looking for an upright two? Looking for wide nines? Are we looking for somebody that can work some off-ball linebacker? I'm not sure if we're looking for players that execute defined roles anymore. Yeah, we could say he's looking for discipline and the ability to generate pressure within structure. That's obvious, but I think we still have some ambiguity here, which makes finding an edge talent in the draft a bit more laborious. And that's fine by me, probably one of my top 3 favorite positions to evaluate. But yet we still have to admit finding the next edge rusher for the Patriots is no longer an axiomatic assignment. And right now, as we hopefully win the Super Bowl, but going into the 2026 offseason, the Patriots edge room is stable, but in a way quietly fragile. With Chaisson likely exiting in free agency, maybe not. We'll see how that goes. Landry, injuries appear to be piling up. The knee ankle injury that he got early this year really hasn't come back from that. There's obvious some loss of twitch going on. Anthony Jennings and Elijah Ponder stepping up effectively, but they have kind of, I guess you would say, defined ceilings or maybe just really structured roles. And that's fine. I love both of them. I believe New England is in need of a star edge rusher, and that's true. I don't think that's arguable at this point, and should be essentially either a first round or a day 2 pick, or maybe they're forced to go big in free agency, and especially if Chaisson decides to go chase a big check. However, all those options shouldn't really restrict the Pats from taking advantage of a very deep and diverse edge class to find a, I guess you would say, cost-controlled, maybe role-secure rotational edge player who can keep the defense intact while the roster evolves over the next few years. Again, the Patriots might be looking at maybe 2 edge spots to replace, maybe more. Therefore, I think you might be looking at Mason Reiger, who's kind of entering the conversation as a dark horse, a maybe day 3 pick for the Patriots. I don't see Reiger as a projection-heavy traits gamble. I don't think that's true. My gut tells me he could be a Vrabel-style edge defender, whatever that would be, maybe, but let's just say it's effort-based. There is assignments to it, and just being productive via pressure and, producing sacks, but not chasing sacks. And being comfortable doing the unglamorous work, that's always a big thing, right? That sustains high-level defenses. I think Mason can do that. Now, I'll be honest, I watched some Wisconsin this year, but much less than years past. However, I will say I had a few names to add to the 2026 NFL draft list, including Riley Mahlman, which is their right tackle, and Ricardo Hallman, who is a solid corner. I didn't make note of Mason, predominantly because I kind of forgot about him after he transferred from Louisville. I simply just lost track of him, and I didn't even realize he was on Wisconsin. Then I saw that he accepted his invite to the Shrine Bowl, and I did some research, watched some tape, and watched the Shrine Bowl practice tape, and this guy's got some juice, despite having some serious injuries. Now, he's 6'4", 245, 260. I forget what they had him in at the Shrine Bowl weigh-in. But key strengths, high effort. He's fast, he's got burst, definitely has bend, very flexible, and he's actually pretty good at run engagement. So he's not just a pure pass, sack artist. But he does have pass rush arsenal. He does have a very quick first step, good burst, get off is fast, can threaten the outside shoulder really quickly, obviously climbing the arc. We saw a lot of those clips from the Shrine Bowl. Gets the arc, bends, gets under, very dangerous. And he consistently converts that speed into the bend which allows him to stay viable as a rusher without really having ultra elite twitch or power metrics. Hand usage, pretty good. It's like push-pull in there, active hands. I mean, he's working. Hand timing looks decent enough, so he's staying on track even when his initial speed wins are neutralized. So it's not like if it doesn't work, he's done. He's working. He can work all the way through to the whistle. Again, not being like a one-note speed rusher. He's got decent awareness. He can set up counters. Good long arm here and there. I think his length is sufficient. I don't think I have any official arm, hand length, wingspan measurements from the Shrine Bowl yet. Definitely finishes hard, that's for sure. He's violent enough. But, I mean, honestly, his production was decent this year. Again, being at Wisconsin, I did not watch a lot of Wisconsin. And he put up okay numbers, 33 tackles, 5 sacks, 6 tackles for loss. And what's interesting is 45 pressures. See, all of a sudden you start seeing these, top 10 rankings for sacks, and those guys get on your radar a little bit earlier, right? You're watching them and you're like, oh, I gotta go watch this guy. But if you're not really looking at some of the, I hate to say secondary numbers, including pressures, 45 pressures is pretty damn good. So maybe not getting all the sacks, but the guy is creating some havoc in the backfield. And I think the sack totals really undersells that impact, right? So he's creating pressure, strong predictive metric for, really having success at the NFL level. And, the Patriots love having that pressure. Consistency, I guess, at least one tackle every game. That's good enough. That's a good enough consistency in many ways. So he's got some reliability, snap to snap. And apparently this guy, coming after and watching the Shrine Bowl, I think he was defensive MVP. So this guy is probably working his way into being an early day 3 pick for somebody. And again, strengths, effort, motor through the roof, decent production, pretty good against the run. So he's got some versatility. He's not just a sack artist, not just a third down guy. Maintains leverage, can redirect runners. That's not a big thing. So he's not a liability. I'm not going to say, he's not Anthony Jennings in that way, but the guy is versatile and reliable. Football IQ seems to be adequate. I don't see him freelancing, which is important, right? So he's not vacating his assignment just to go chase a sack, right? Keep the guy inside, does his job. Gotta love that. Now, development, we talked about the pressures. Well, then the sack conversion number is really not that great. The pressure to sack efficiency is not going to be great for him. Could question his ability, what's his ceiling. The big thing for me is the injury history. Knee surgery, I think in 2024, and I think it was a bone graft for the knee. I believe had to be gone back in, done some extra work on there. So, he's playing well. He's obviously playing at a high level when healthy. The questions about the knee. Now, is it like blown ACL, MCLs and, ripped and torn this? No, it's bone. So it's like, well, is the structure of the knee a problem right now? And can lead to more injuries in the history? Or is it actually done correctly and everything's all solid and now it's basically we're fine from here on out with, obviously some concern there, but that's the big evaluation. So his medicals are probably going to be the first thing you're going to really, really worry about if you're a front office guy. Elite athletic ceiling. I don't know if he's going to give you like a 4.5 40, 40-inch vert or anything like that. I'm not sure, but he's explosive. He's got good timing, good technique, decent explosiveness, but I don't think we're going to see, 35 reps in the bench or anything like that. I don't think we're going to see him jump out of the gym during his combine or pro day testing. Which if I'm watching the tape, it looks quick and fast and bend. It's all there. Now for the Patriots, for Vrabel. Again, not really sure what the perfect profile we're looking for, and obviously it comes down to Chaisson, what's going on there, what's going on with Landry, free agency. So not sure if Reiger really does make the fit this year, but I think should definitely be on our radars because he's reliable in setting the edge, maintains the leverage, understands his assignments, right? He executes stunts, loops, and chase rolls cleanly. That's all there. And I think right now, if you're looking, let's again assume Chaisson's gone. Landry, we'll see. But like, he kind of complements the existing room. He doesn't duplicate it. He's not duplicating Ponder. He's not duplicating Jennings, right? I mean, you're looking for really fast speed to power, backside pressure, stunt execution. So if Chaisson's gone, but we're not hitting on grabbing an immediate replacement for him, at least this guy is bringing some Chaisson-esque, attributes to the table, right? And if they, again, this is going to be probably, I would put him as a day 3, not sure where. It's going to take some combine testing, maybe some insight into his medicals. But if you get him as the speed, fast, twitchy guy, right? And then you look for more of a traditional, all 3 down, set the edge like a TJ Parker in the first, that could work. That combination, then we're adding things that complement one another. And it's a thing. I don't think he needs to be a comprehensive edge rusher if you're getting him on day 3. Just want somebody that helps make the defense very structurally sound and brings a different flavor and, different looks when you need to change things up against certain offenses. So like year 1, let's just say maybe he'd be like edge number 4 or 5, get 20-ish% of the defensive snaps, lots of special teams. Maybe he just comes in that sub-package rusher. Year 2, maybe gets more of a rotational opposite of Jennings or whoever else they possibly bring in, be like the primary looper on stunts. But yeah, maybe he does come down and maybe he actually shows his ability to work and hold his spot against the run and still being able to add that 3rd down pressure. Maybe that percentage snap goes up even more on year 2. So that mid-round edge defender works for me. But I think there's a lot of questions here. I think if you watch the tape and you watch what he did at the Shrine Bowl, you're like, this guy's going day 2, could be a first rounder. Again, got to see some of the testing, got to get the medicals so that combine stage of the pre-draft process is going to be critical for him. I think he's obviously done enough to say, let's keep an eye on him. He's got my attention, that's for sure. Anyway, where do you think the Patriots should go after him? Is he day 3, 4, 5? Is he 6, 7? Do they just take it off the board because, we're going big on free agency? Or are we just committing to, a first-round edge rusher? Is there a guy on day 2 we're looking for? Let me know in the comment section below. If you guys like this content, please like and subscribe. As always, thanks for watching.